So when I'm selecting the K value here, as I told, you can select it using Manhattan, you can select using elbow. Right now I've discussed the topic about the elbow method, where when I consider the cluster centers, I will take these two as my centers. This is C1 and C2. I draw a line between them. I draw a horizontal line between them, okay? And based on the values, this is identified by Euclidean distance. I can get to know this value by the Euclidean distance between these two cluster centers, okay? At the center of that point, I will be drawing the horizontal, another dividing line for that. So the points that lies below this cluster will be converted to C1. It will be moving because they're all very close to C1. So I will identify the distance between them and I will group these clusters to 1, okay? But the other one, I will group because it's above the line and all the values are very closer to C2. I will club all of them and form the C2 clusters. Okay, this is very important, how to identify the K value. Now I've discussed about how to identify the K value using elbow method. Let me initiate K is equal to 2. In this current example, let me consider K is equal to 2. Okay, so K is equal to 2, I have two types of clustering. So when I have two types of clustering models, okay, let me consider I have the values of this first time, okay, and the other data points are these data points. I'm considering two cluster points. Cluster points are randomly selected. That's a very important point to be noted. Cluster points are randomly selected initially. So I'll consider this is my first cluster point C1. This is my second cluster point C2. I will identify the distances between them. I'll get to know the center. I will draw the line passing towards that. Then what I do, I will identify the distance values of it, and all of these values now will become towards the red point. Even this value now becomes to the red point. So it will be converted into the red. So these becomes red point. The lines above it becomes the green points. Even if there are any red points above that, will become green points. So I have these green points over here. Based on the distances, I will convert that towards here. So this forms the clustering. So K1 and K2 or the cluster center. Now what I do, I will calculate the mean value of it. I will calculate the mean value of it. I'll calculate the mean value of only these points that falls within the cluster of red color. I will calculate the mean values of red points. Then I will calculate the mean values of the light green points. I will calculate both the values of it. I will again re-update my cluster center because there could be some other points that are very closer to the cluster centers, or it is not correctly classifying to that particular thing. So I take the average of all of these points, the mu value. Now my mu will tell me the centroid because I'm taking the average of all of these values, right? When I take the average of all of these values, it will tell me, because I've calculated the distance from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. When I calculated the average value of it, the new mu value becomes my next centroid, because obviously there will be a change in it, because when I take the average of it, suppose this was my value, now I'll have this is my centroid. Rather than this, my centroid has been changed because I've got a new mu value. Now again what I'll do, again for this also probably this could be a new centroid value generated for the light green. So then again it will calculate the distance between them. Now it will identify the center, it will draw a line between that. Okay, now it will identify wherever the points lies. Now because this is going to fall under this category, now I'll be changing that point to the light green. So now this becomes light green. Again everything is light green. Okay, and this, see, it is below the line, so this has to become the red point. This is for the example. I'm just showing you the intuition behind how exactly K-means clustering works. So now again, since I have the new points, I'll be writing all of these points will be under one cluster, and all of the above points will form under another cluster. Okay, so this process is going to repeat multiple times as long as I do not get the change in the mu value, or I do not have the change in my centroid value. I will be keep on repeating the same operation. So The very important points that we discussed was identifying the K value using elbow method. The second point is identifying the cluster centroids and updating the cluster centroids based on the mean value. If these 2 points are very clear, K-means clustering algorithm is very simple. Let me know if you have any doubts. We have just 1 minute time to rejoin. We'll rejoin and further discuss.